Alright, hi guys. So as you might have seen, I recently pre-ordered the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So before I'm setting up my new phone, I thought I would do one last what's on my iPhone 14 Pro Max and show you guys my favorite apps. And I recently got in so many new amazing apps that I feel like I can't live without. Everything from productivity apps to editing apps. They're so good. I'm so excited to show you guys. So let's just get right into it. So yeah, this is my lock screen. It's a picture of my little puppy, my little Maltese puppy Molly. This picture is probably my favorite one I have of her, or I probably couldn't pick a favorite, but this picture makes me melt every single time I see it, especially because she's back home in Sweden. I live in Australia right now, which is 9,000 miles away from her. I miss her so much. But yeah, so I have that adorable picture. And then for my widgets on my lock screen, I just have a remember to smile today, just a little reminder. This is so subtle. It's not like anyone else can tell if I have my phone laying on a surface. You have to be like really close to be able to tell, but it gives me a good reminder to just be happy. Then to the right, I have another widget. This has like the opposite effect. This honestly makes me kind of stressed. It's for a good reason. So it's a year like countdown. So you can basically see how much of the year has passed in percentages. So for 2023, 71% has already passed. I literally feel like it was January 2 weeks ago. It's kind of scary, honestly, but it gives me a good reminder to like actually be present, do the things I want to do this year and not wait. And then you can see above the time, I just have the date and the weather. But yeah, so then if we go into my phone, I'll just start with showing you my wallpaper. So this is my current wallpaper. It's a collage I made, and it's kind of a lot. Like, it's definitely not the minimalistic wallpapers I usually go for, but it works as a vision board, basically just how I want my life to look like right now. Some of these pictures are my own pictures, but the rest I just got from Pinterest. But yeah, I definitely think this is a great way to like manifest what you want. But yeah, then this is my first page. We can start with the widgets. So I have a notes widget, and this is so good because I use my notes all the time. If I just want to write down a random thought I get. I just read a book about taking digital notes and like the importance of actually doing that, and that book said like your brain is made for creating thoughts but not holding the thoughts, and that like kind of stuck with me because I feel like it's so true. You've probably all been there, having a really good thought and then a few hours later you're like, I don't even know what I was thinking about. I've just made a habit to write down every single thing I think of. My latest notes were for the iPhone 15. So yeah, and then my second widget at the bottom is Notion. Notion is a planning tool I use for my whole life basically. I'll show you later, but basically this is just a shortcut to jump back in to the latest notes I worked at. So for example, if I click the meal planner, I just get right into the meal planner. And yeah, if you guys want to get this Notion template or any other aesthetic Notion templates, I'll also link it in the description. So if you guys watch my vlog channel, you know that we recently ordered not only the new iPhone 15, but also the new Apple Watch Ultra 2. And one of the biggest inconveniences with having a bunch of different devices is having to keep track of a bunch of chargers. And that's why I'm so happy that this video is sponsored by Cuxio and their 3-in-1 charger. And it uses wireless charging, so you don't have to deal with a bunch of cables. And this offers really fast charging. This literally fits in my hand. It's so small and it can charge all your devices. You can charge your iPhone, Apple Watch, and AirPods at the same time on this little platform that is foldable, so you can easily put it in your pocket when not using it or in your bag to bring with you. So that makes this charger perfect for travel. It's really lightweight, and at airports we all know that charging stations are often unavailable. There's so many people wanting to use them, so if you only find one, you're lucky enough. But with this one you only need one and you can charge all your devices at the same time. And what's so cool about this, not only is it foldable, but you can also make it into a little phone stand to charge your devices at the same time as you're watching a YouTube video. Just being able to keep your screen in the position you want, whether that's vertical or horizontally. So you don't have to pick between charging and entertainment. You can do both at the same time with this. So yeah, I will leave the link to this product in the description. It's definitely a must-have for Apple users. And you can also get 10% off with the code CUXIOGLOBAL. You can also find it on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. But then for the apps, first I have YouTube. And I just made a shortcut to put my my own app icon, and I got all of these app icons from Pinterest. I believe I posted all of them to my Pinterest if you want to go check that out. Yeah, and then I have Notion, so I'll show you a little bit. So yeah, these are all of my pages. This is my weekly plan template. Like, I can put in my weekly goals and then all my tasks, and then I can like divide the tasks into each day. And what I really like about this is I've divided it into like most important tasks, and then secondary tasks, and then additional tasks. I feel like most of the time, like, the tasks that aren't as important are usually the most fun ones. So they're usually the ones that actually get done, and then you have like all your actually important tasks left and you feel super stressed even though you technically got a lot done. So I really like this like setup to actually prioritize my tasks. And then I have a little habit tracker and a weekly review. I also have my uni page. So this is basically, it doesn't look as good on my phone as on the computer. I can have an overlook over my courses and like what I need to do, exams, what else, a budget. This is just the template, and just keep track of my expenses and see what I'm spending my money on, which is currently the iPhone 15. That's like 90% of my budget this month probably. I also like to plan my videos here, so if you're a YouTuber or just create any content online, this is so good. You can just create a content planner. And so here you can see all the video titles and the status of the videos. I can change it to like I'm currently filming the video or I'm editing it. This is so good now that I have multiple channels, because I also post twice a week on my vlog channel. But yeah, that's basically an overview of Notion. I could obviously go a lot more into it, but I feel like that could be a whole separate video by itself, so I'm just gonna stop here. So then the next app is Gmail, and then there's Pinterest, and I'm in love with this app. I get so much inspo from it, and everything's just so aesthetic. So yeah, this is my account if you want to go follow me. And I usually post pictures from my life, but also I repost a lot of pictures that I just find aesthetic and I want to keep them. My favorite board is probably this apartment slash house inspo board. My favorite thing ever is probably planning how my future home is gonna look like. I've just posted a bunch of home decor that I'm planning to get. And yeah, this is definitely my aesthetic for my future home. So then for my first folder, I have my school folder, and I don't think there's anything really interesting here. You probably know all of these apps. The only one I could mention is Sudoku. You can get access to like previous students' material, like lecture notes. You can look at their assignment. You shouldn't copy it, but you can definitely take inspo from it. Yeah, and then we have a productivity folder. Okay, better. So I have my productivity apps here, and one I've been starting to use a lot lately is Todoist. So for example, you can create different projects for like different areas in your life. So I have one for routines, like my morning and night routine, and as you can see, I haven't used it actually in a while. I stopped using it like a few weeks ago maybe, but I've used it for so long and it's actually so good. So if we want to create a new task, meditate every morning. So then it's basically just gonna create a task that repeats every morning, and you pick the time as well at 8 a.m. Then put it under our morning routine. Yeah, so then when you've done a task, you just cross it off. Yeah, and then next we have ChatGPT. And the reason I put this under productivity is because I feel like it just makes you so much more efficient and productive. For example, if I don't know what to film for my YouTube channel, I can just ask ChatGPT, like, hey, give me 10 ideas for YouTube videos on this topic. Like, it's basically like having a personal assistant. Yeah, I feel like you all know what ChatGPT is, but if you haven't used it yet, I definitely recommend you to start using it. It can write like emails for you. You can obviously customize them a little bit, but you can definitely use it as inspo if you're feeling stuck. Then I have Chimo, and this is also a task app, and what I really like about this app is you can have a timer for every task. So this is great for studying if you want to have like a 2-hour study session. And then the next app is Day One, and this is an app I wish I would have started sooner. So basically it's a journal app, and what's really cool is you can import a picture every day. It's gonna be a little photo journal, and I currently only have 3 pictures, but once you've done this for like a year or a few years, it's gonna be so fun looking back at your pictures from years ago. I take so many pictures every day, so on this app I can choose one picture that really means something to me. So then instead of scrolling through my camera roll, I'm just gonna be able to look through this and see the most special moments. Then you can also create templates. So I created a daily plan template. Basically it's just a way to plan my day, and then I also have my 5-minute PM journal. Yeah, and then I also have a weekly review template. Alright, so moving on, we have social apps. And so first we have Snapchat. Oh, I just realized my hair is like frizzy right here. Let's take a little Snapchat together. Beautiful. And then we have Instagram, and as you can see I have a time limit because I actually put up a goal yesterday for this new week, because today's Monday, that I only want to use TikTok and Instagram for 2 hours. I realized during a week I spent like 9 hours on Instagram. So right now I have a time limit, but I'll ignore it just to show you my Instagram. So this is my account if you want to go follow it. I feel like I'm so bad at posting because I always plan a bunch of content and posts. Then for some reason I just never post them. But then we have YouTube again. And then I have Reddit, TubeBuddy, and then TikTok. Again, I put a time limit on it. But I've actually started posting a lot more on TikTok. So if you want to go follow me, I'm a lot more active now. Yeah, and then I have my YouTube studio, and then Threads. I feel like nobody's talking about this anymore. It was such a big deal when it came out. I was just gonna say I feel like nobody's using it, but now I'm seeing that some people actually use it. But I feel like the engagement is really low. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you use Threads. But those were all my social apps, and then now for the editing apps, I'm so excited to show you. This has been like so requested. I've gotten so many DMs of people asking me how I edit my Instagram pictures. This is the app I use. It's called Tessa. I actually have the paid version of this. There's so many good filters. The Mood 3 is really good. And then I also really like the truffle and vinyl. And I also like the wildflower and film. But what I do to make my pictures have that little film look is I use the Fuji 400 filter. So, oh, did the app just crash? So I usually bring the filter down a little bit, like I'll put it in the middle maybe, and then right now it's really blurry, so I like to bring the blur down to like 19, and then I take off the date, but that's definitely a cute detail. I like to have quite a lot of grain, but would you like maybe that much? And yeah, it just creates a really nice effect, and then we can put like this one on as well. Yeah, so cute. Like, I just spent hours playing around with this basically. There's so many things you can do. And then I also really like using the Polaroid feature. Like, this just makes the picture actually look like a Polaroid, but I usually bring the filter down a little bit. So, and then we have CapCut, and this is what I use to edit my TikTok videos in. Right now I'm doing this 30 Days of Outfits series for TikTok. Yeah, and then I have Lyft. Actually, I'm not even sure what this app is. And then you have Canva. If you want to make those thumbnails with the grids, you just press plus and then elements and search for grid. And then you have a bunch of options. So you can do like this maybe. And yeah, that's basically how you create those thumbnails. And then you have Visco. I haven't used this editing app for a while. I actually tried editing some pictures recently just to see if it lives up to the Tezza app, and I feel like it doesn't. It's still a good editing app, like it's not bad, but when I did use this, my favorite filters were A6 and A4 and S2. But now I pretty much never use that app anymore. And then I have Fonto. This is what I use sometimes for my thumbnails. This is a future video, by the way. Yeah, you can choose so many fonts. You can also download your own fonts. Then I have an app called Snow. Yeah, so basically here you can choose to like retouch some things. I don't edit my face, but sometimes I do like to retouch if there's like something really annoying with the picture. Like, you actually have the option to make your skin look tanner. This just made me look orange. Yeah, and then I have Dashcam. You can take a picture right now. It's a really bad picture, but it makes it look like an actual film photo. Yeah, I've used it quite a lot. And then I have Photo Room, and this is really good for like cutting out objects. If you press the object and then press outline, you do these little, like, if you've seen those thumbnails with the outlines, this is how you can do that without having to like manually draw the outline. Yeah, and then I don't really use any of these apps right now except the blur editor. This is just a really good app for blurring out certain part of your pictures. Like, say the logo on the backpack here, we can just do a little blur like that. Yeah, but those were all my editing apps and all my apps for the first page, except on the bottom I have just a shortcut to my phone, messages, Safari, and the camera. And this is what I'm so excited for with the new iPhone 15, the new camera. Because the iPhone 14 Pro Max camera is, you can kind of tell this isn't even bad compared to how it usually is, but as you can tell, it's not even focusing. Like, if I press it, it's not even focusing. Like, I just pressed the suitcase and it won't focus. And, like, what? That... Okay, there we go. Alright, but now moving on to the second page, this is what that looks like. And as you can tell, I do like to organize my apps in folders. I just feel like it's the easiest way to organize my apps. Yeah, so for my shopping apps, I have Zara. Okay, these were my last orders. It was actually a while ago. And then I have ASOS, Amazon, Target, IKEA, Sephora, Zalando, Uniqlo, and Glassons. Glassons is my new favorite Aussie store. I had really high hopes for the shopping here in Sydney just because I feel like it's a big city. I feel like Australia is good at fashion, but I actually haven't found that many stores I like. So I'm really happy I did find this one because I really like it. Look, I actually ordered a bunch of bikinis yesterday for Aussie summer. So then next we have travel apps. Priority Pass is a really great app to have. Oh, and then I have Surfshark. This is so good right now when I'm in Australia and if I want to access content from like the US or Europe, I can just go on a VPN. And then Yelp. is also really good for finding good restaurants. And then I have an Australian folder. So basically all my Australian apps. The first one is Eventbrite, which is a really good app for finding nice events in your area. And then I have my phone provider and Text Plus if I want to receive messages from a US number, I believe. Yeah, and then I have an app called MindBody. It's basically like Eventbrite, but if you want to find a yoga place. I've actually found a lot of Pilates and yoga studios through this app. And then next folder is like business apps basically. So if you want to start your own business, I would definitely recommend Shopify. And then have a job searching app and Etsy, because I recently started selling on Etsy. And food and lifestyle. First I have HelloFresh. This is like right now I'm not using HelloFresh. I'm not even sure if they're available in Australia, but I used this in Sweden, and this is not sponsored. I wish it was, but if you haven't tried it, you need to try it. It's so good. And the recipes are actually so good. They're so tasty. I don't think I've tried one recipe from HelloFresh that I haven't liked. Yeah, and then I have McDonald's Foodora for Sweden, which is like Uber Eats in the US. Tesla app. I used to drive quite a lot in Sweden, but since coming here to Australia, I haven't been driving one single time, which I'm not gonna do it because in Australia they drive on the left side and I'm used to driving on the right side. It's gonna be so weird when I actually sit in a car to drive again. And then I have a bunch of widget apps. I believe I made a video of how to customize your lock screen, and I went through pretty much all of these apps. But yeah, they're all really good for making your lock screen aesthetic and just having really cute widgets. And then I have my health folder. Yeah, and then on the last side I have utilities and entertainment, and this is basically my night page. So during the night I switched to this one for entertainment and just a shortcut to day one where I journal. Yeah guys, that was it for my what's my iPhone 14 Pro Max. I'm so excited to try the new iPhone 15 Pro Max, and of course I'll be doing a new what's on my iPhone, because I always like to switch up my iPhone when I get a new one. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!